Hello everybody, and welcome to another Here's Wellspring City Toonkind at 12 FPS. So I am Zen. I am normally the DM, but today I will just be playing Mutant Dog, probably. And with me today is
Hello, I'm Lordlyhour. I play cat. Cats and dogs. It's raining and all. I think it is actually raining outside. Nice. Applicable.
Oh yeah, I think it's raining here too. It was earlier anyway. Um,
Convenient.
thematic.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this takes place shortly after push-ups for power-ups. So in the previous game before that, Into Thin Air, uh, you guys fought a bunch of mutant animals, and Kat, you decided that the two-headed dog you wanted to keep as a pet. Um,
Absolutely. 104%.
so y'all carried its unconscious body back to the junkyard, and basically, then what did you do with it?
Alrighty. Probably would have taken it directly home.
All right. And how did Cat lives with his grandparent and his sister, right?
Yes, yes.
So was he trying to sneak it past them, or are they aware that the dog is
Oh,
there?
he could have snuck it past him if he wanted, but he was just like, hey, I found a new dog. Can we keep it? And, well, his grandparent is pretty much an enormous weirdo also. So it's just like, why, yes, you can keep this giant two-headed dog that hates you.
Yeah. So was Cat just like keeping it in his room, or did he have a crate for it? Like what? How is he trying to keep the dog contained?
Um, well, he lives in a fairly large house, so I think it's probably got a room to itself with a variety of like. It was probably like child-proofed would be the term, or dog-proofed. Nothing valuable was left in there. But fairly large room, some newspaper, food and water, all that good stuff.
Okay. Um, Yeah, and it was basically left in there alone as it woke up and stuff for the first bit of it.
Yeah, make sure it wasn't, overcrowded or anything.
hmm Yeah, definitely over the course of that day it was left unattended. You have heard a lot of thumping against the walls as it's and clawing against the walls as it's trying to get out of the room, but it hasn't actually managed to put a hole that goes all the way through the wall or the doors yet. So,
That's a lovely mental image. So before it manages to dig its way through a wall and try and eat his grandparent, which would go poorly for the dog, um, he will go downstairs and use his inexplicable ability to cast speak to animals before talking to the dog. I've remembered I've got that spell now.
yeah, and it's gonna be very useful. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, so you cast Speak with Animals and, go up to the door where the dog's behind and start talking?
Um. Okay. So common sense says do that. Cat sense says to walk just right into the room. Make sure it can't get out behind him, but just walk right in.
Okay. Yeah, so Cat is just walking right into the room.
Absolutely.
Alright.
I love that tone of voice. Just If you want to, okay then.
Does a
Making
23
notes.
hit?
I wish I could say no, but it does.
I mean, if you said it didn't hit and you're at level 4, I would say I think you messed up your sheet somewhere. So,
Yeah. Yeah, sort of.
yeah, as Cat steps into the room, this dog kind of comes charging at him and one of the heads bites at Cat's arm. Sort of, and the other one is just sort of snarling at him. Cuz like Cat did hit this thing with his sword.
This is true, he did.
So as far as this dog is concerned, Cat is enemy. Very much dangerous enemy. So,
Fair and just and also valid.
yeah.
Cat?
Wait, I gotta roll. I forgot about damage.
Oh yeah, damage.
Okay, that's 5 damage. So.
That's just a love bite.
Alright. So yeah, damage handled. What's Cat gonna do?
Cat'll look at the one that's biting him on his arm, is just like, ow, rude, and will pull one of the rations out of his pocket, which is probably just a snack cake or something, and just be like, biters don't get treats, and then we'll give the ration to the head that didn't actively bite him.
Do you want to roll animal handling there?
I do. I don't have a good. I'm not great at it. He's hoping for a nat 20 or a nat 1. Oof.
What did you get?
I'll screenshot it for. I repeat, oof. A 6.
Yeah, okay. With this 6, I think like Lordly is holding out. I mean, Cat Cat is holding out this ration towards the non-biting head, but that head is just sort of still growling at him. Like, I think, well, you have Speak with Animals on, so you can hear it say, like, we don't need food from you. Or, we don't need food from you. Real emphasis on the you part there.
Cat, still being gently nibbled on, is just like, well, I am the one who's gonna have to feed you, so it's me or no one.
Is that a fucking threat?
It's not a threat. Or rather, Cat doesn't perceive it as a threat. I like characters who threaten accidentally. I play like 3 of them.
Okay. I think the dog just says, like, you've heard us before. How do we know that's not poison?
Cat will take a bite of this treat and like swallow. It's just like that, and just offer out the other half of the ration.
Okay, you can roll persuasion.
Alrighty. What? Cat's highest skill, I lie. God damn it, I wish I had advantage on that. I accidentally rolled with advantage. And I got a 2 and a 20.
Whoa, the The
The dice
disparity.
spot giveth, and the dice spot taketh away, and unfortunately I didn't have an advantage, so it taketh away.
uh. Oh well, it makes it an underdog story. We'll see. Yeah, with the two, the yeah, the dog is not convinced. Uh, I think the dog is like, you know, the dog says, that doesn't mean anything. The master ate poison all the time.
That's probably not healthy. Might explain a few things. Yeah, it's just like, well, what would convince you?
Hmm. I think the dog sort of pauses at that, cause like, they hadn't considered that. Uh, I think. Hmm.
Stump the dog and the DM.
Yeah. Uh. Cause like the dog is telling me no, there's nothing you can do, but like that's not fair. Um.
I'm just imagining the two heads just like looking back and forth and like bickering under their breath while they do this.
Hmm. Cause like cat eating it is a pretty good proof that it's not poison. So I can't think of a better one. Uh, I think okay. I think the head that was biting cat lets go and says, "Let me smell it."
He hands it over happily, places it on the ground so he's not, he can't be doing any sleight of hand tricks or nothing.
Okay. Let me see. Investigation. Uh-oh. It does not have a good. It does not have a good intelligence. Yeah. With a 3, I think the dog is just like, this just smells like you.
Cat's just like, well, I have been carrying it in my pocket for an unspecified amount of time. That probably explains it. Is there something you'd like better than unspecified rations?
Oh my god. I assume you have the rations from your background, but it's just like that's not something we track. So
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
just like, where did that come from?
Yeah, it's just like it's the background. You start with an explorer's pack. It has 10 rations in, so it's just like okay.
Mhm.
Personally, I'm imagining it as like trail mix.
Yeah, I think trail mix is not the most appealing to a dog. So I think like simultaneously like the the head on the right says a hamburger and the head on the left says I, uh, I don't know, bacon. And it's like that's what they want.
Just like double bacon hamburger. Okay. And cat's just like, well, um, I have bacon in the fridge. I can probably fry that up for you real quick. Hamburger, I'd need to go out for a walk and grab it, so I don't just carry those on me. I should. He checks his tune kind bag of holding. I've forgotten what they're called. Hammer space.
Yes.
God, my brain is. Checks his hammer space just in case he's left one there in the past, and he hasn't.
Good. I mean, also like when the you can roll insight to figure out what the I don't know if you need to roll insight. The dog doesn't mean like a whole ass hamburger with the bun and like ketchup on it. It just means the meat part. So
Fair enough. Does that mean I'm not going to bring a whole ass, full on fucking Krabby Patty?
it's up to you.
Sort of. Cat'll just be like, well, I can go grab you the bacon super quick. It's in the fridge. You want it cooked? I can cook it, or raw.
I think the head on the left, you can see it's sort of getting a little less skeptical, and the head is like tilting at the mention of bacon, like, ooh. The head on the right is unimpressed.
No one who possesses bacon can possibly be evil. So Cat's just like, well, wait here a few minutes. I'll grab you some bacon, fried bacon or not. Sorry, I personally, in real life, am a little tired. It's 8 in the morning and I haven't slept.
Jesus fucking Christ, Lordly.
This is the correct opinion.
Why did you agree to do a game at 6 a.m.?
What?
Why did you...
Wait, yeah, 8.
Yeah, it's
Did
8
I say 6? It's 8.
Yeah, it's 8 for you now, but we're 2 hours past the originally scheduled starting time.
Are we? Huh.
We were supposed
to... Well, the answer is my sleep schedule is bizarre, sort of. Like, I have actually been trying to get myself to get up earlier so I can go to bed later, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, what it's mean is me staying awake all night. I'm nocturnal at the moment.
Good
it's
God.
a problem that shall be rectified.
I suppose so.
Anyway, bacon. Cat will go to his kitchen, shut the door behind him, and procure bacon.
All right. I don't think there's a cooking roll, and besides, you're making bacon for a dog, so I don't think it can be like so bad that the dog won't eat it. So,
crit fail and just crispy.
Yeah, I'd say you come. I mean, how good are Cat's cooking skills in general? Like,
well, he doesn't have proficiency with the cooking skills, cooking set, but he does have proficiency in survival, which is what I'd personally use to roll for cooking, since it's taking care of yourself, question mark.
I meant more like a like flavor and backstory away. Do you see him as the sort of person that could burn cereal, or like, you know, decently get by for himself cooking?
In the way of flavor, bland. No, bad joke. Sorry. I do see him as the sort of person who will live largely off ramen when he hits adulthood. Then again, I can cook quite well and live largely off instant meals, so it's not necessarily indicative. But I don't think he's a great cook. He wouldn't have been banned from any kitchens for like setting everything on fire, but you know, he is at the same time is not going to be getting a full ride to a culinary school either. He's just like, it's okay. You could trust him to, you know, follow a recipe if you gave it to him.
Yeah, he's competent. So I think the bacon turns out decent. It might be like a little bit crispier than you would have liked, a little bit black in a couple parts, but overall, not burnt, very much edible and smelling nicely of bacon. Um, and like when you walk back to the room, you can roll perception.
Total of 15.
Yeah. Okay. For some reason, the dog rolled horribly on perception to actually smell the bacon, so you can tell like the dog is not in fact like scratching at the door, and you can safely enter the room.
Dog's just like, he's disappeared forever. How annoying. And then walks back in with bacon and is just like, oh shit. Did not expect you to follow through.
Pretty much, yeah. Once, so yeah, Cat's walking into the room with this bacon still in the frying pan on a plate of some kind. Like, what's he got it in?
He'd have plated it rather than just frying pan, because frying pan begs slapstick comedy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, plate can have slapstick comedy too. Do you want to roll a
This
con
is
save
true.
as this, or dex save? Because this dog is, now that you have entered the room with bacon, is barreling towards you.
Dex save. 23.
Okay, yeah, you managed to step out of the way and not get tackled and bowled over by this dog. Who
Right.
is, yeah, the head on the left is looking very, very interested in the plate that you're carrying. And the head on the right is, somewhat interested, but trying to. Oh boy. Let me see. It's trying to play it cool. What would that be? I'm gonna roll for it. It's also not great. Yeah, with a 10, the head on the right is like trying not to look very interested, but is very much, sniffing at the air because
It's
bacon.
just sort of like, I'm above this all, with visible streams of drool.
Yes.
So, Cat places the bacon, like, on the floor, plate of bacon on the floor, steps away from it, because even if it's providing the dog with food, you never step between a dog and its food.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just be like, enjoy. I don't have any hamburgers in the house at the moment, but I can work on that.
All right. I'm rolling again. Investigation, as both dogs are sniffing at this bacon. They're both doing it, so they both get to roll. And they both got, oh my god,
sake.
terrible.
A 2 and a -2.
Good god. Well,
They fail to find the fucking bacon at that rate.
I think it's just like they, yeah, it's bacon. That's all they smell is bacon, and it smells a little bit like cat.
Smoky bacon.
But I think the head on the left definitely starts eating the bacon, and the head on the right is like, why are you doing this? To the head on the left is like, just like, if it's poisoned, we're both going to die. Why are you doing this? And the head on the head on the left is like, it's bacon though.
Cat's just like, I wouldn't want to, associate with anyone who'd even consider poisoning bacon.
the head on the right, like, squints skeptically at you. And can they roll insight on you?
Sure. I don't know. What would I,
You don't roll anything. I'm gonna roll insight, and then based on how good it is, you, like, describe what they might see about Cat. So, like, with a 17, they get, like, a pretty good sense of what's going on. If it was lower, they might only, like, get a surface level, but, like, sort of, like, how
So-
genuine is Cat being about that, and how much can they trust him?
Oh, Cat's 100%, truthful. He's basically doing the little Scout's honor salute, if you know that. It's just like, absolutely 100% would not interact voluntarily with anyone who'd consider poisoning bacon. Like, in part, just because anyone who'd consider poisoning food in general is probably skeevy as fuck, but, like, bacon is almost holy. You don't fuck with bacon.
All right. Well, seeing that the head on the right also eats some of the bacon, and the head on the left, like, growls at it a little, like, this is my bacon. I asked for it. The head on the right is like, well, I'm hungry too. So they're both
God, I'm enjoying this interplay.
eating the bacon, and then, like, they eat all the bacon that was on the plate, and the head on the left is, like, sort of looking at the plate, and the head on the right is sort of, like, staring at Cat in a, like, judging way. Like, okay, what comes next? Why'd you do something nice? Well, I mean, you'd have to roll insight, but it's sort of like staring Cat down,
What's
not
the
quite
play
growling.
here? What's your game? Sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Giving him the greasy eyeball.
I've never heard that phrase before.
Really? Huh.
Stink eye is, I think, more common, at least around here. So.
Fair enough. So Cat's just like, well, actually, I probably should insight to see if it's, I can't answer a question that has not been posed. Oh, that's a 6. Cat's blithely unaware of it, just like sitting there, gurning like an idiot, just like, yay, I gave my new dog bacon.
Yeah, with a 6, you can tell, the head on the left sure enjoyed the bacon. The head on the right doesn't seem as mollified, but maybe that's because it asked for a hamburger. You don't know.
Cat's just like, well, if you guys promise to behave, I will take you to McRonson's and grab a hamburger. McBronson's, it'd be, yes.
You're gonna take the dogs out in public to McBronson's to, what, get them a hamburger in the drive-thru?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you sure about that?
Okay, listen.
I mean, you can if you want to. You can try at least.
Cat would be not dumb enough to do that. Despite that, God, I want to. Oh, God, I really, really want to. You know what? What I'm going to do is, in fact, Cat's going to ask his sister to go through the McBronson's drive-thru and get him a hamburger.
I know. Fuck all about Cat's sister, other than a couple of things from the questionnaire. So he's, like, ducking out of the room, going to find his sister, and then asking her, "Can you go get me a McBronson's hamburger?"
I make Bronson's gleeful meal, or whatever the knockoff phrase would be.
Oh my god. Roll persuasion.
Okie dokie. 13.
Okay, 13. I feel like 13 is enough that like your sister will go get the hamburger in a few minutes after she finishes what she's doing.
Sounds like a plan. For those spectators at home wondering about Cat's sister, her name is B. She also wears a mask like Cat. Hers is actually a lot more horrific because uh basically her mask design was a beta test for Cat's mask, and it gave people eye phobia. And by people I mean me. Looking at its eyes creeped me out, which was aces. So yeah, she goes and procures the hamburger.
I'm just thinking of fucking McDonald's hamburgers, which are these tiny, thin little, like, patty of meat, and like how disappointing. And like you're getting one hamburger for this dog to share.
Cat's just like leans back in, just, hey B, can you make it like 3 or 4? I'll pay you back. Thank you.
Okay, that's better. Uh, so like it's gonna take like 20 or 30 minutes for B to get back with the hamburgers. Is Cat doing anything in the meantime, or just waiting on those?
He'll probably spend the time with the dog, shooting the shit, talking. Essentially just being like, trying to convince it that, yeah, I'm not the embodiment of all evil, and also your own, damn it, I'm so bad with names. The Stankfoot analog. Ill will.
Illo, yeah.
Yeah. Just trying to convince it that, yeah, he's not from whom the sun shines and from where hamburgers
Okay.
uh,
I'm just
are
I'm
created.
just gonna say we are not hand waving that discussion as saying okay, 30 minutes passed and that happens and then the hamburgers are that is
Oh, yeah, no,
that
I'm
is
not saying we
roleplay.
should.
Okay. So like
I'm not saying we
yeah.
should. I'm just being like,
So Kat is gonna go talk.
giving you the gist.
Yeah. So Kat is gonna go talk to the dogs again.
Yep.
They do not try to bite you when you enter the room this time, so that's
Progress.
progress. Uh, you can tell the one on the left is a little disappointed you don't have more bacon.
I'm. Gav's just like, well, there is more bacon, but I will. I don't want to cook it all at once because if we have all the bacon today, there is no bacon tomorrow.
The dog on the left looks like a little bit sulky, but
I'm just thinking, sagacity could probably turn bacon bacon today means no bacon tomorrow into like a severe Zen phrasing.
well, I mean, I said it, so it's Zen phrasing either. If I say it, it's Zen phrasing either way.
I I realized as I said it, I was setting you up, and you sure did fucking knock it down.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, I'm looking at Speak with Animals in the last 10 minutes, so you probably had to cast it again.
Probably will do, yeah. Sort of.
Yeah.
How
But
many
yeah,
spells do I get at this level?
The dogs are just sort of, you know,
Chilling,
what?
vibing.
Not quite chilling. I mean, roll insight on them.
Alrighty. That's a 23.
Yeah, with the 23, you can tell, like, the dogs are allowing you to be in this room without biting you because you did give them bacon and they haven't died yet from poison in the bacon, but they are very much on edge and, like, you know, watching you, keeping an eye on you for you to take like one step out of line and then they will be back to biting you.
This is fair, just, and valid. Cat's like making no threatening moves or anything, he's just vibing.
Mhm. Yeah, and like however he wants to start that conversation with them. They are not being the first
They're
to
not.
speak up.
Damn it, they're not going to take the initiative. So Cat's just like, that science guy who had you. Thoughts, opinions?
I think the one on the right is like, why would our opinions on the master matter?
Cat shrugs, is just like, I don't know. I'm interested in hearing them.
Uh, it is rolling insight to see. With a 5.
With a 5, all it can't tell shit about shit.
Yeah, it just.
Cat's, he seems to be sincere.
He seems to be what?
Sincere.
Oh, sincere. Okay. Uh. Yeah, I think. Hmm. I think the one on the right won't answer that, but the one on the left is like, we'll just say, the master made us into what we are now.
Cat's just like, uh-huh. Are you cool with that?
Mm, roll insight, because they're not going to answer directly.
Alrighty. That's a 15.
Yeah, with a 15, you can see the dogs sort of like bristle at that question, like they uh don't want to be asked that, and they are, you know, they sort of like look between each other and like, you know, look, and then like look away cuz it's like they don't want to say no cuz it'll be, you know, they don't want to the other dog to take it personally, but no.
Cat'll just be like, he'll note that down in his brain book, but not, push because he's got the answer he wanted. It's just like, so you weren't always a cool two-headed creature. You know each other well. You get on. You have fun.
They sort of look at each other again. Uh uh I think you're going to have to roll persuasion.
Alrighty. Hooray for using charisma a lot. Saying that, I got a 17.
I think 17 is enough. That the one on the left says like, uh we did not know each other well before the master took us.
Cat's just like, fair enough. Can't be expected to know everyone with whom you are thrown violently into the web of fate with. Um, do you have anyone you know? You got anyone else other than the master who's important to you?
Hmm. Uh, I think the hmm. I think the one on the left starts out with like saying like our owners, and the one on the right is like shut up, like don't tell him that. What do you think he's gonna do with that information? And the one on the left is like, well, he he gave us the bacon, and the one on the right is like, yeah, he hit us with a sword too. Like, what makes you think he's not going to go find your owner and hit them with a sword?
Did they say that out loud?
Yep, they're having that conversation out loud.
Cat's just like, I try and make it a point of not hitting people with swords unless they're trying to do similarly violent things to me or my friends. Honestly, I'm just worried. Like, I'm worried about your owners because you've gone missing, and they're probably worried about you.
I think the one on the right says, then why are you keeping us here instead of letting us go back to them?
Cat's just like, well, for one thing, I don't trust that you're not going to run straight back to the guy you've been calling master, because I know some people are in some dodgy relationships, and sometimes they can't get out. And also, you've been kind of mushed together, and that might weird people out.
Hmm. I think the one on the right is like growling at you a little, and the one on the left looks a little downcast.
Ah, curses. Neither Cat nor I are very good at socializing, so it's just like,
You can try rolling insight if you want more nuance. Uh,
please. Fucking 17, I'm rolling really well.
I feel like you've rolled a lot of 17s this game. Um,
Yeah.
with a 17, well, also I think like the one on the right says like, don't you think we know that? Uh, and the one on the left is like, oh yeah, my owners probably wouldn't want me back. Uh, and the one on the right is like, in a sort of, hey, you didn't have to say that and make the other one sad and remind us of that.
Cat's just like, hey, whoa, no, I didn't mean it like that. I don't think they wouldn't want you back. It's just, um, he sighs, like, soul weary. Am I really going to have to explain the concept of government and governmental persecution to dogs? Is this where my life has gone? And
It sure is.
it's just like, I'm sure your owners would be thrilled to have you back, because, like, I know I would if I had dogs who went missing. But, like, there's, like, other people who, like, your owners would be happy to have you back, but there are other people who are just, like, not cool with the people who have had weird stuff happen to them. And he sort of gestures with his hand as it turns into smoke and sort of indicates it, just like including himself in that statement is just sort of like, and if like people found out, like you could get in a lot of trouble, sort of thing. Like, I whacked you with a sword because you were trying to bite me and my friends, but this is they do the equivalent of that just because you exist.
Hmm. I'm rolling them an intelligence save. Oh my god, it's a -1. So I think the one on the right just growls, well, then we'd bite them too.
Cat's just like, if only all of the ills of the modern world could be bitten into submission. God, Cat's just. Cat wants extra credit on his social studies homework for this.
Oh boy.
I really kind of just want to hand wave. Cat spent half an hour explaining the concept of government to dogs. I really want to.
Oh, I don't think they're gonna get it.
No, me neither.
They have a -4 in intelligence. You could be here all day with them. I don't think they're gonna get it.
Nor do I. Cat's just like, well, there are a lot of them, and they have bigger teeth. Cat's like, not literally, that's a metaphor, but there are a lot of them, and they can bite harder. And you know, if I took you back to your owners, they could, you know, your owners could get in trouble.
Hmm. Yeah, that seems to, sink in a little bit better. Uh, you could roll insight on them again.
Thank God for insight. That's a critical success.
Ooh boy. So I get to give you some fun little tidbits.
Hurrah.
Yeah, so they definitely seem, when you explain it as like, the people that are gonna be trying to hurt you are gonna be more powerful. Uh, they seem a lot more familiar with that concept, and also like you get the sense that like that is why they were, you know, sticking with Illwell is not because necessarily they're loyal, but because they knew, like, if they weren't obedient, that Illwell could hurt them a lot more.
Yeah, makes sense, makes sense. Cat's just like, and, well, here's the thing, Ill Will is probably, if he found you, he might do what he did to you, to your owners, or, honestly, I can't, he seems not well, and I can't predict him, but I think he might not be the kindest. Since he grabbed you without your permission, I assume he might do the same thing to your owners.
That's a really fucked up concept. Man,
Yep.
that's a really fucked up concept. I'll put a pin in that for later. I don't think on the show Stink would ever fucked with human experimentation except that once. So
You're welcome. You sound so delighted.
Look, I I like fucked up shit. So,
I think we're friends because we both like fucked up shit, honestly.
mhm. Mhm. Good basis for friendship. Talking about fucked up shit together. Yeah.
Same brain worms.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like at the concept of like, you know, LOL possibly hurting their you know, their owners if they were to go back, they're sort of like, you know, a bit more resigned. They seem to accept it, but they seem pretty like downtrodden about the idea.
Cat's like, um, me and my friends, the other people who were beating people up with swords. Let's move on past that. They we're trying to, you know, stop him from doing that, and in general, just make it so people who have been. He does the thing where he gestures with his hand all smoky again, who have had this sort of stuff happen, won't be targeted by. And he sort of shrugs and just like strong people, weird, creepy folks made from ink. That was fucked up. Anyway,
Hmm. Yeah. Uh, you can roll persuasion.
that is an 11.
I think you sort of like lose them at the end, especially when you start talking about like Ink Monster, and they're like, "We've never seen anything like that." I don't know what you're talking about there, but they're like, you know, still kind of skeptical about like, what do you mean those people hitting us with swords and magic were actually good? They hit us with swords and magic.
And sort of, we were we were hitting you with swords and magic because you were trying to hit us with teeth because Elwill was making you do that. And sometimes people do things they don't want to because they have to because other factors are making them do that. It's all the system, man. It's rotten to the core.
uh, they are like, okay, well, you haven't hit us with the swords since we got here, so maybe an 11 is good enough that they're like, okay, maybe you aren't always going to hit us with a sword, but they're still, not entirely convinced that you are trustworthy.
This is fair and valid. I did hit them with swords, after all. I wouldn't trust someone who hit me with a sword instantly. It's fair.
Who hit you with a sword until you became unconscious and then trapped you in a room in their house.
To be fair, I didn't like tie him down or stick him in a crate or anything.
No, but you did like lock them in a room of your house, which is still pretty.
It's not like the door was locked. Granted, they don't have opposable thumbs, so they couldn't, open the door, but
I'm
anyway,
just saying
Cass.
that is like I'm pretty sure that is like the definition of kidnapping. You hit someone
Oh yeah,
with
it's shady as fuck.
mm-hmm. So yeah, they're still kind of skeptical about you, but they're like, maybe he's right.
He's not the worst person who's ever hit me with a sword. Cat's just like, well, in any case, I don't, uh, I don't want to, just throw you into the wilds and, leave you to your own devices because, bad shit could happen to you, which,
I don't want to happen. I don't want bad things to happen to anyone, but, you know, in this instance, bad things had to happen to some people because bad things were happening to other people because of third lots of bad people doing shit to things. I lost myself when I was saying that, so.
Yeah, the one on the left is like has their head cocked, doing the like confused dog look. Uh, you can
I
try to
vibe heavily. I
yeah.
vibe heavily with you, head dog, left dog.
Is Cat saying that, or is that you, Lordly?
That's Lordly saying that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Kev's just like, oh, by the way, I didn't actually ask your names. Do you have names? Are you comfortable with giving me your names? You don't have to if you don't want to.
I think the dog on the right is like, of course we have names. Uh, and the dog on the left is like, I haven't been doing a good job giving them voices. Um, so the dog on the left says that their name is Rufus, and the dog on the right says that their name is Mabel.
I love them already.
Uh, I knew I was coming up with names, and I'm like, the second these dogs have names, that Lordly is not going to let them go. They're going.
I mean, I wasn't gonna let them go anyway.
Yeah.
If you'd
So,
said
it's
no, they don't have names, I was just gonna be like, well, you're getting a name now.
like, no, and you can roll insight on them.
That is a 12.
Yeah, with a 12, they are pleasantly surprised that you asked them their names.
Yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry that I forgot to ask you before this, actually. It's bad manners to speak to someone if you don't know their names. My name's Cat, by the way. And yes, I'm aware of the irony.
Uh, I think I think when Cat says the word cat, the dog on the left sort of their ears perk up and they look around a little like, where's the cat?
Cat's just like, unfortunately, I'm the only cat in this room. That said, I don't mind if you chase me, so long as you don't bite me. I don't. Not a fan of being bitten.
Uh, the one on the left looks like a little bit guilty about having bitten you earlier. Just a little.
It's a valid reaction.
And I'd say at this point, like the bee is back with the hamburgers.
God, I'm just imagining Bee looking in on her little brother, having a conversation with a giant two-headed dog, and it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to ask. This is happening. And just leaving. Places the hamburgers in the room with him. It's just like, have a good time talking to the dog, Cat. And just walks off to go back to what she was doing.
Oh my gosh, yeah, because you've said Cat has been trying to talk to animals since he was little, so she just
Yeah.
thinks it's more of the same. Oh.
She's just like, you know what? At this point, with this family, this might as well happen. I'm going to let
This isn't the weirdest thing Cat has done this week.
it.
Uh, but yeah, the dog on the right, Mabel, has definitely perked up a bit at the appearance of the hamburgers.
Cat will unwrap them for him, just place them on the ground. It's just like, tell me in advance if you don't want to eat the buns, because I will eat them.
Yeah, I think as Cat is saying that, Mabel is like nosing the bun off of one of the hamburgers to get at at the meat
meat.
inside.
So Cat'll happily disassemble the hamburgers and take any bits that the dogs don't want.
Which is pretty much the whole thing except for the meat part. So Cat has like 4 sandwiches of just like lettuce and tomato and ketchup and whatever else.
Nice.
Yeah, and the dogs, they sniff the hamburgers a little bit, but are not as skeptical about poison this time, so they just start, eating the hamburgers.
Also, just realized the fact that you said, "Oh yeah, the master ate stuff that was poisonous," made me realize these poor dogs have probably seen Ill Will just straight up fucking poison something.
You don't know.
I don't know.
I also don't know. Possibly.
Accidental dark implications.
You also don't know the dog's definition of poison, so.
This is true. He might have just offered them a thing of chocolate.
Yeah. So the dogs eat the hamburgers.
Nice. Cat's just like, if you promise to, like, not leave the backyard, you can, like, go outside for a while. Otherwise, pretty much the whole house is free for you to go through if you want. Just, don't leave, please.
I think they are, they're looking at you, each with their heads cocked in like separate directions, and they are rolling insight. And I'm gonna give them advantage because they're both doing it. Well, that second one was terrible. But the first one, a 14.
That's pretty good. Yeah, Cat's, again, just being earnest here. He's got no reason to lie. He just is like, well, if they don't trust me, I'm not going to keep them fucking locked in a room. It's a dick move.
Aww. I think what it is like, Mabel got the better roll and is like, huh. Meanwhile, Rufus just heard the word outside and has just been going outside, 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 outside.
He's vibing. Or vibrating, rather. Just like, ooh, out.
Their tail is wagging very enthusiastically. But yeah, Mabel seems like a little skeptical, but is like, well, he's probably telling the truth.
Got no reason not to, sort of thing. He'll open the door and just be like, it's this way.
Yeah, the dogs are like shooting past him, running towards the backyard, and then probably like scratching at the door to the backyard if it's not open already.
Yeah, it's just like they run past an intersection. It's just like, you took the wrong turn. It's that way. Just sort of open the door for them.
I think they do pause a little bit in the doorway, and you can roll insight on them.
That's an 8, paired with a 20, because I cannot figure out how to turn off advantage, but it's an 8.
Yeah, with an 8, the dogs sort of pause in the doorway to the backyard, and they both look up at the sky like they're trying to check something, and after they've looked for a minute, then they continue running out into the backyard and doing like the, you know, when a happy dog sort of just like leaps up in place and like gambles around,
Absolutely.
rolls in the grass. They're happy to be outside.
Oh yeah, poor creature would have been like fucking even before it was in my in one of my spare rooms. It was just like, oh yeah, it was underground for a long time. Oh dear. Cat's just like, yeah, tell me when you want to go back in if you want to.
I think Cat is kind of being ignored at the moment as the dogs are barking and running around the backyard.
This is fair and just. Cat'll rummage through his pockets for something he can throw like a frisbee. And probably turn up a shuriken, which is probably not what you want to throw for a dog.
God, no.
Frisbee. No, that's a shuriken. That's a shuriken. That's a throwing star.
Oh my gosh. You could roll perception and look around the backyard for like a stick too.
I shall do that. That's a 21.
Oh yeah, you find like a couple of good sticks around the backyard that would be good for throwing. And there's spares so like you can throw another one without having to wrestle the first stick out of one dog's mouth. So
God, I'm just imagining the two just wrestling over the same stick. Tell whistle so he can get their attention and heft a stick and just sort of waggle it. Just like, hey, you want to play? You want to play? The way you do for a dog.
yeah, I think like at the uh roll insight one more time.
15.
All right, yeah. So with a 15, when Cat whistles, the dogs like freeze immediately and look back towards him, and they look a little bit anxious, but then they see the stick and they're like, okay, and relax a little bit and seem excited about playing fetch.
Cat will feel really bad for fucking stepping on one of their triggers accidentally and will make a mental note not to. And then we'll throw the stick because that's what's important here.
Yes. Stick. I'm just rolling. So Rufus catches the first stick and looks very proud, while Mabel looks a little bit disappointing at it and is kind of trying to gnaw at the edge of the stick.
Until Cat will keep playing fetch with them until they get bored.
Yeah. It will be a good long while, but eventually they get like a little bit tired and sort of like lie down in the grass and then look up at the sky again and then, you know, sort of trudge back over to the door back to the house.
Cat will do his best not to like fist pump because he is quite happy that they haven't run off into the wilderness. He's just like glad that they've decided to stay.
Yeah, does Cat not have a fence? Like, whereabouts in the city does Cat live?
I think he does have he's got a decently large backyard, I think. Like, the way I'm thinking of it is, Cat is like family is kind of quite wealthy because like he and Brittany are like childhood friends because that he was like an acceptable child friend because he's a family member of, you know, old money. So yes, of course my child is allowed to interact with another child of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And then said child of wealth turned out to be Cat, the weird little asshole. I love him so much.
Mm-hmm. So there's somewhere where they're not like squeezed in like sardines in the middle of the city.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a. Yeah, he's not like. He's got a fairly large backyard. He's probably doesn't have any like neighbors who are peering over his fence at his giant two-headed dog.
That's good. But yeah, the dogs are tire themselves out playing in the backyard and then like look up at Cat like look up at Cat expectantly to be let back inside.
Cat will happily let them back inside. It's just like, glad you've So you have decided you're going to stay for a little while then?
And I think Mabel says for now, like very reluctantly.
Cat is just like repeats happily, just like for now.
Mm. I feel like that's a pretty good place to end it, unless you have anything else you wanted to do.
Nope, nope, I'm all good. I was thinking the same thing.
Alright, so I will end the recording in a second. Thank you, Lordly, for playing.
Thank you for hosting, Sam.
And thank you to everyone who's listening.
Yes. Have a wonderful Wellsprings day.
Bye.
Bye.